Louisiana Beer Review Steel Reserve Alloy Series. Blackberry. Blackberry. Well, you know they mean blackberry, but it's BLK berry 211, 8% alcohol. I don't know when this particular flavor was introduced, but I do know that the trademark for the Steel Reserve Alloy Series was first used on September 1st, 2013, so we know it's within the last even less than 7 years. Brewed for extra gravity and exceptionally smooth flavor. Now here's a disclosure. Flavored ale. So what is this? In a technical sense, what it says on the can, flavored ale. Then they describe it further. Malt beverage, and ale is a malt beverage, with natural and artificial flavors and certified colors. So you got natural flavors in here, artificial flavors, and certified colors, meaning food coloring. And if you look on United States Department of Agriculture, it's the Food and Drug Administration. They have an article you can read about food coloring and natural versus artificial flavoring. It's very interesting entry on there. So 24-ounce can, they had these at Circle K. All the Circle K's here. There's no use naming what particular store, it doesn't matter. They'll all have it, and right now they're running a deal, 2 cans for $4. So you're saving like 78 cents off the total if you buy 2. So I bought 2 different flavors. So here we go, and there are some video reviews, not an enormous amount, but some. Rate Beer, Beer Advocate, and Kansas City. Sorry, that one's north of me. That's the Canadian National Railroad. Westbound. Okay. That track is not that close to me. It is the Kansas City Southern Railroad. The track goes kind of a slant, so when it's way down there, it sounded like it was the southern track, not the northern line. They run parallel, basically, between New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Sorry about that. Anyway, these review websites, well, of course you know, they're going to hate it. It's purple, right? Like blackberry, dark purple, like blackberry skin. I need to go check for some blackberries. It's tart, very tart from sodium citrate. If you read the ingredients list, it's so long. Like most processed foods. Now the aroma, that's a long train, but it's flying too. The aroma is sort of neutral, okay, if you can hear me over that racket. You would think it'd be like a huge blackberry burst, but it isn't really, from what I can tell, in this beautiful, dry, sunny, windy weather. A little too windy. There's like some malt, you know, like a beer aroma. Honestly, like kind of a strong bready beer aroma. What about the grapes? Yeah, I'm picking it up. So surprisingly, I think if you smelled it, you might just think it was Steel Reserve High Gravity Lager. 8%, you know, either the triple export black can or the silver. the flavor. It has blackberry. Now look how quiet it is. There's like a zingy quality to it. I don't know how to describe that well, but it's like kind of like yeah, you see blackberries themselves are sharp and sort of, people say they're sort of bitter. Yeah, that's the word. Not tart, really, like bitter. You can get some sweet ones, but they tend to be bitter, I find. Yeah, this one has some bitter qualities, like real blackberry, I find. Interesting. Yeah, there's a little beer underbody, like a Steel Reserve 211 underbody. But it's a lot more pleasant, to me, than regular Steel Reserve 211, whether silver or black can. We get the regular Steel Reserve here is 6%. That's a whole different animal, very mild and mellow. But I find that the high gravity Steel Reserve, the 8%, 8 point, is it 8.1 or just 8? Can't remember. It's a little harsh, chewy. I don't dislike it. I think it's good, but it's a little too chewy for me. It's more like eating a beer than drinking it. But this one, the body seems much lighter. Could be a very serious deception. To me, it just seems medium bodied. It's got the berry flavor. Like, it seems more natural than fake. Now, I thought this is gonna taste like, I don't know what. Kool-Aid. Well, maybe it does taste like blackberry Kool-Aid. I don't drink. Last time I had Kool-Aid was so long ago. Can't really remember. I remember drinking it. Usually it was a red kind or something. I don't know. So long ago, like decades. Carbonation is there. No lacing. You wouldn't expect that. Little foam at the top. Finish is kind of dry. Now you see it's supposed to be like this, quiet out here in the shade with the birds. Then the train shows up. I think they're going faster than they're supposed to through this town. But then there's these ordinances like you can't block a state highway for more than this many minutes. Something like no way you could enforce that. But I never hear any complaints about it. People don't mind really. I don't think that they're racing through the town because they get out the way faster. Now I guess if somebody tries to pull out in front one day and they get hit, you know, there'd probably be some media uproar. You know, we need to do something to save lives, even though the people could just not try to run the train, you know, run in front. And there's gates on all the crossing, the state highway crossings at least. But I don't know. Anyway, that's another story. Interesting color, like real, like blackberry juice, which it is not. Score. Well, you hate to give an artificial colored and flavored beer and natural flavors a good score because it's just so, like, you say it's cheating, it's cheating. It is, you know, and all that. But this is not targeted to people doing beer reviews with glasses. And, oh, look at the mouthfeel and the finish. It's not as sweet as I thought either. So on a Cyclops scale out of 5 sugar cubes, it's more like yeah, like 4 out of 5. And you would think it'd be 5 out of 5 sugar cubes. But they don't use, they say sucralose. That's sort of like one of those artificial sugars, which I don't like. Generally, like, if somebody puts that in coffee, it's awful to me. But in this presentation, it isn't. Then it's not too sugary. Okay, doesn't have that strange high fructose corn syrup badness that they don't use at Molson Coors anyway. Medium mouthfeel, kind of dry finish, which is strange, being that you would think it'd have a sweet finish, but it doesn't. Well, it's one of the better ones I've had from the Alloy series, and all the ones I've had have been good so far. So it's designed for sale in a tall can at the gas station, which is in the convenience store, which is where it's sold. It's not designed for the beer review people to go, you know. So anyway, for what it is, a flavored ale, mass market, mass production flavored ale. Won't see television commercials for it. Won't see radio ads, magazine advertisements. You'll see point of sale. They will have posters in the stores. I've seen that. I think they had one on the front of the one of those stores recently. But for that, and you got to have it super cold. I mean, you want to put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and it ain't gonna freeze. It's an A. I mean, it's an A for what it is. You say, well, I hate what it is, and their simple solution there is don't drink it. I don't like what it is either. I'm not going to drink it. I'm not going to buy this in a 12-pack. I think Mathern's, I know they do. They sell 12-packs of these, you know, varieties, and also the Red's Wicked, 8% also, and just avoid it. My regular beers that I drink every day are not this. I'm gonna say 95 out of 100 for this. It's perfectly designed and executed in that special, endearing, flim-flam way, if you know what I mean. So anyway, it is what it is. What can you say? And we're gonna end this review by saying, Laissez-les bon temps relais. Y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.